When you finally walk away, something shifts inside her. She may act indifferent, like it doesn't bother her, but deep down, her mind starts racing. The silence, the absence, it all hits harder than she ever expected. And the longer you stay away, the more she starts to question everything. But here's the real question. How long before she breaks? And what happens next? Women often test men without even realizing it. It's not about manipulation. It's about confirmation. She's trying to see if you're the kind of man she truly desires. One moment, she's warm and affectionate. The next, she pulls back. She stops texting first, takes longer to respond, or acts distant. Most men panic at this stage. They chase harder, trying to figure out what went wrong. That's the mistake. The second a woman senses that you're reacting emotionally to her distance, she feels in control. She realizes that her actions dictate your emotions. And just like that, she loses respect for you. The men who pass this test do the opposite. They don't react. They don't ask what's wrong. They don't double text. And they certainly don't beg for attention. They stay calm, unbothered, and focused on their own lives. That's what unsettles her. When you don't do what she expects, when you don't chase, suddenly, she's the one questioning her position. Women are drawn to certainty. A man who knows his worth doesn't beg for approval. When you make yourself too available, the mystery, the challenge, the very things that fuel attraction disappear. People don't value what they think they'll always have. But when something they took for granted suddenly vanishes, that's when it hits them. At first, she may brush it off, thinking, he'll be back. She expects a text, a check-in, some sign that you're still caught up in her. But when none of that happens, when she realizes you're truly gone, doubt starts creeping in. Did he lose interest? Was I wrong about him? Did I misjudge his value? And that's when curiosity turns into regret. Walking away isn't about playing games. It's about self-respect. A man who walks away is signaling strength, confidence. And confidence is what women respect the most. Most men make the mistake of responding emotionally to mixed signals. They chase, they seek reassurance, they try to fix things. But the moment you show her that her actions control your emotions, the attraction fades. The right response? Silence. Indifference. A high-value man doesn't engage in games. He simply removes himself from them. And that's when everything shifts. Silence is one of the most powerful tools a man can use. Most people think words are the strongest form of communication, but in reality, absence speaks louder. When you stop texting, stop calling, stop seeking her attention, you create a void. And that emptiness starts to affect her. At first, she assumes you're just busy. But as the hours turn into days, the doubt sets in. She checks her phone more often. She replays old conversations. She wonders why you disappeared. Women don't miss men because of what they say. They miss men because of how those men made them feel. And when those feelings are suddenly taken away, the absence becomes unbearable. This is why walking away isn't about being manipulative. It's about showing her that you were never dependent on her in the first place. A man who knows his worth doesn't chase. He focuses on himself, his goals, his growth, his success. And the second she realizes you're completely fine without her, something changes. She goes from, he'll come back, to why isn't he trying? To did I make a mistake? At first, she convinces herself she's fine. But as time passes, the silence you created starts to get louder. She starts checking her phone instinctively, scrolling through old messages, reminiscing about the attention you used to give her. And then, when everything is quiet, when she's alone with her thoughts, the regret starts creeping in. At first, she might try subtle ways to get your attention. Liking an old post, watching your stories, posting something she hopes will make you react. But the key is to do nothing. Let her feel the emptiness you left behind. A woman only truly values a man when she realizes he's no longer an option. She might have thought she had the upper hand, played games, or acted like you weren't important. But when you don't react, when you stay calm and composed, she starts to rethink everything. Suddenly, she remembers what she took for granted. The way you made her laugh. The way she felt safe with you. The way you never needed her but chose to be with her. Women respect men who have options, but don't settle for less. And when you disappear without a fight, she realizes, maybe she was the one who was replaceable. But you weren't. Most men lose their leverage the moment they see even the smallest sign that she's thinking about them. They respond too quickly, send a message, try to reestablish a connection. Big mistake. The longer she goes without hearing from you, the stronger her emotions become. And when she finally does reach out, you have the upper hand. Women are wired for emotional investment. When you pull away and go completely silent, you trigger something deep inside her, the fear of loss. It's not just about missing you. It's about realizing she no longer has control. And that's when the shift happens. She starts remembering only the good things, romanticizing the past. And suddenly, losing you doesn't feel like a relief. It feels like a mistake. But here's the key. When she finally reaches out, don't give her what she expects. She expects you to jump at the chance. Instead, stay calm, composed, unaffected. A simple, neutral response. Nothing more. Because if she truly values you, she will keep trying. And if she doesn't, then she never truly valued you in the first place. Whether she comes back or not, one thing remains the same. You never chase. Your life should be about growth, improvement, and leveling up. The moment a woman realizes you're thriving without her, she feels the full weight of her loss. A high-value man doesn't beg for attention. He doesn't wait around for validation. He makes decisions based on his own purpose, not fleeting emotions. Because at the end of the day, women don't remember the guys who begged for another chance. They remember the ones who had the strength to walk away and never look back.